into our open mic. Okay, so we will, let's see, we're not going to take another break, so as to allow for as many readers as possible. Please feel free to help yourself to refreshments during the open mic, but do so quietly so as not to disturb the reading. Poets, please limit your reading to 3 minutes. Rachel will be keeping time. And this is to allow others their chance to read, okay? Now, there's a list here of everybody reading. After you read, please read the next person's name on the list who's going to come up. And then that person will do the same. Okay? Thank you.
First up is Charlene Marion. And if you, the rest of you, next person would be Maria or Mariah. If you could come up on deck, that would be great. And that's just a signal to you and to everybody else that you'll be the one after. So that'll be the hot seat right there. Okay. Yeah.
And also I wanted to make a little announcement about Charlene. We put Charlene Marion at the top of the list because Charlene's been really helpful. She's handled the sales table back there all day today. She helped us set up. She helped us set up and do stuff at the workshop last week. So we're giving Charlene the top spot on the open mic. Thanks.
I need the list to read it on the show. What you said.
Oh, true.
You can see that. Actually, the truth about why I got up here was the truth why I got up here was arm twisting. January 9th, 2007. The day Eli was born, grief silently rocked his crib, watching doctors rush to examine from head to toe. Medical labels touched by grief's cold hands were laid across Eli's soft, sweet baby skin. Boy, girl, we're not sure. No, no, boy, yes, boy all the way. Grief frowned at her clawed fingers, took away hermaphrodite, ripping it to shreds. Look, the umbilical cord strangulated his feet. Grief whispered. He tried to get away. Baby Eli stretched and yawned, shaking off the labels. No, Grief, I bound my feet with navel string. My toes are a package sweet, wrapped just by me, a gift for those who can see. Watch, Grief, wait and see. Are you blind? Grief stepped out of the shadows as unease grew inside his mother's breast. The day the seizure started, Grief took her first step and slammed into Eli's head. Then she combed her hair and draped her multiple colored scarf over Eli's family. At last, Grief claimed her name and medical labels she clutched close. Mitochondria myopathy, twisted, broken Moses basket, nestled in Eli's cells. Grief danced in the glare of the white lights, lunging out of the shadows. As doctors gently explained, he's blind, he will never walk or talk, a wheelchair is best. Yes, whispered Grief, strap him tight, Velcro is my middle name. Eli smiled his soft baby smile as he watched Grief dance. Wait, Grief, wait and see. Grief played with death while Eli's mom and GP doctor signed a DNR, do not resuscitate, death warrant, age 2. And boldly said, children with disabilities do not have the right to life. There is no quality in his existence. That week, Grief slammed the front door as Eli's mom fled to drugs and party, entitled Quality Life. Grief, death, mom, and GP doctor raged every time their DNR was ignored. And Eli smiled in all his black hair beauty and kept his gifts well wrapped, separate ones for each person who could see. The day Eli's brother went to preschool, Miss Sally succumbed to temptation and reached for his toes. Oh, his toes, his tiny, lovely toes. Eli grinned at Grief and spread them wide, and giggling preschool girls reached for each tiny digit. Grief's multicolored robes began to fade. She cried as she watched Eli wrap his wheelchair in yelps of joy at the skate park. Aiden said, I liked when Eli was by the fence. I would skate by him. Eli would yell and fist pump just for us. I knew he was happy. 2 gifts wrapped in one. Grief's golden eyes blackened in rage as she plotted to get her way. Then came Uncle Jesse's graduation, another gift day. Suddenly, silently, Eli rode all day, all the long, long day. Did his family really have to go so far? Dragged across Oregon, out of the car, in the car, stop, go, just as Grammy strapped him in once more in his soft safety seat and Grief climbed in beside, Eli said, "We go home now?" He talked, Grammy wanted to scream. Grief was astonished, unable to speak. "No, Eli, we're going out to dinner with Uncle Jess." "Oh, then go? A whole conversation? Where did that come from?" "No, Eli, then we'll go to a hotel to sleep. Tomorrow will be great." "Oh." Grief sat stunned, silent, tongue-tied. Enraged, she hissed, "You can't walk, you can't run." "No need, Miss Sally's girls see me." Grief cried out, "Why don't they see me?" Eli laughed and tipped his head. "I see you, Grief, and you are blind." Then Eli smiled and Grief smiled right back. "Your hands are curled. You will never hold anything. Wait, Grief, wait and see." Grief wept the day Eli's dad fell under his magic cuddle spell. Then it was Grammy's turn. Lifting 40 pounds of dead weight, Eli into her lap. Grammy rocked. Eli laid his sweet warm cheeks close and snuggled in, letting his heart, his soul blend to each breath, pressing in. Eli knew Grief was creeping close, so he instead refused to let go. Did he know this would be his last Grammy's cuddle? A treasure wrapped with curled hands. Eli smiled as he pressed his love deep, blending his warm body into Grammy's, into one. Grief threw a fit and hissed, "Enough, I've had enough." She packed her black bags and dragged Eli off to his mother's family and firmly parked Eli in a corner, well-groomed, labeled, and ignored. Grief screamed and mocked, thinking she had won. Wait, Grief, wait and see. Slowly, Eli began to fade, his power dimming after 6.5 years. Green grass pollen filled the warm summer air. Eli drew a deep, deep breath and whispered, "Grief, I found a way to wrap my wheelchair, wiggle my toes, become the master of the cuddle, and Grammy knows I can talk. So you just wait, Grief, wait. You can never separate me from my dad, for I and all my disabilities can touch hearts deeper than you." Grief glared at Eli. GI tubes permanently implanted, NPM, nothing by mouth, medicine regiments, syringes, mitochondriomyopathy, respiratory failure. She called her friend Death, and he came to set up on Eli's lungs, crushing, smothering. And Eli, he whispered, "Dad, I love you. Remember, you saw." Then he let go of the silver cord that binds, unwrapping his last gift as he passed on Sunday, June 15, 2014, Father's Day. And Grief, she came to Elijah Scott Marion's memorial, his celebration of life, and laughed and cried with all of us, for at last Grief could see.
I need a deep breath after that. My name is Mariah. This is a poem about my first hospice patient. She is the same age as me. This night, I stroke her hair as she breathes in and out. Her voice is a husky whisper, first in through the rattle in her throat, then out as she presses her hand against her raised knee until the muscles tremble. out, and in again. 8 p.m. Last week, I watched her stroke the skin on her leg, her knee. I wonder how it feels to stroke her still alive skin with her still alive hands. I wonder at that which will render such flesh useless soon. Tonight, I stroke my hair, the flesh on my leg, with my still alive hand. I feel the aliveness so temporary, fragile. My breath comes easily now, almost unnoticed, in and out. She and I, one breath apart. Hers stopped this morning, 3:10 a.m. And this is a poem I wrote last week in the workshop, inspired by a cover painting of two women by Kahlo, I think it's how you pronounce her name. My poem is titled Bleeding Hearts Exposed. Once a surgeon took my heart out of my body, then put it back, changed. A long time ago, just the other day, a son took away my heart with his life. He never put it back. 32 years later, my heart, broken open by the surgeon, returned to me the ability to give my heart with glee to Amy, risking all. My last poem is an homage to water and what happens when we let her know how much we appreciate her gifts. I do not write. I don't write about sex. I pour down on you, over your head, bounce off your shoulders, glide down your torso, along your arms, drip off your fingertips, slip between your toes. This is from the point of view of the shower. Close your eyes, hold your breath while I caress your face. I want inside. Your hair hangs limp from my touch. No place is out of my reach. When I'm hot, you relax. Breathe real slow. Cold gets your blood moving, excites you to tremble. Sometimes you even sing. I like that. And I say, when you thank me, no, we're still in the shower. When you thank me, pride follows me down the drain, out into the bioswale. Soon I rejoin my own, sharing your gratitude as I greet old friends. Thank you. Kath Mason, there's a Catherine.
Oh, okay. And after Catherine will be Roy.
You hear me? I'm kind of going to do this in a different order, but I was so touched by the earlier poem. In the silence, spirits speak, well-loved tones of voices known come softly, silently back home. From where will tomorrow's poets come, who hear the sound of songs not sung already through their iPod gear, music piped inside their ear, who hear I wrote a poem about Robin Williams. Most people sink like stones in crater lakes, leaving not a ripple, but some in that brief and shining surface moment skip like perfect stones thrown by brown-skinned boys. tell I didn't know you, so I didn't know you didn't care. I didn't think I had not thought that we weren't going anywhere. I should have felt you didn't feel. I missed no meaning in your touch, was deaf to the silence of your words. Guess I didn't like you much. From the ridiculous to the sublime. If I can find it. Thickest pavement laid to rend earth from wind is heaved and buckled, split and cracked by one thin blade of bright green grass. What does one do with bones interred where new things will be built? Bones love placed beneath the tree time has twisted on itself. What does one do with old bones when those who laid them and could tell of fur or feathers, flesh or fin, have themselves been laid? What then? There is a world within a world within the world we know, with a spiral around a circle around a center with a glow, a place the soul remembers, where it goes in pain and grief, a place where love surrounds, restores, a place where it finds peace. Let us not praise old love's reunion, but keep to the past soft wine in a glass, warm bodies in grass by a creek flowing fast to somewhere we could never share. Leave memories in amber to hold to the light and glow in now sun, that we might forever, always be one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And after Roy is Renate.
Somebody mentioned Vietnam. This is called shutting down. Cold June raining, almost tomorrow. Blood smell without reason. My room fills with the red smoke's essence. Snap the fingers, I feel it all. This is how it happens. Another extraction, low and hot they call it. Extract slip, bust treetops, slams right down tight to the deck, hauling ass. Pop red smoke. A bullet bursts a canteen. Tracers as a dance club strobe. We are running. Yellow smoke 79 to the tree line. Gunship markers. Rockets exit tubes. Miniguns shred. Clear cut. We are running. Gear digs our back. A sniper, a spotter. Killers. Slick flares, nose up, brakes on, settles. Port gunner dangles, spins from the side, very dead. A safety line, they call it. His blood now custom pinstriping to the tail. Co-pilot's windscreen shattered, brains on the bulkhead, scene textured surreal in the red haze. A Cobra gunship smokes out. Mayday, mayday, call for burn, prefix extraction, current, go yellow, another finger snap. The fast movers, the SF-4s flying cover above, slow motion, napalm hits yellow markers, making a wind of its own. Finger snap. We slide onto the deck, up and in, life in 1973, LZ Temp, Recon 3, covert they will call us. Out for weeks, living like rats on a killing spree in south central Laos. Adrenaline burns kidneys, pulse pounds the ears, air so hot, so wet, makes no sense to breathe it. Leech bites, long festered to near boils. 23 unconfirmed kills in our wake. All officers, all very dead. No one knows why. Blood-soaked, pilot cranks, blades bite. I'm not able to describe the turbid scream. Finger snap. We rise, flight engineer hit. We patch him. Starboard gunner hit, we man the doors, turbine squeal, we rise, more burn, another pass, 6 pods. Yes, fuck 'em, burn 'em all. All this for 2 men, Scout Sniper Recon, Mother Marine Corps. Gunner and flight engineer, you ask? They'll live. We sit, strap in, canteens pulled, we drink, we puke, the fire below, bodies burn, marking the siren's way out. We hold each other's trembling hands to light cigarettes. Over 100 dead on the ground. They wanted us bad. Now, in the essence of the red smoke, the cat wants in. David Crosby from 1971 floats by, the cat's bowl's filled. It sits on a bloody deck. Radio on, the chill side, they call it. Something about a mountain in the river's sound. Finger snap, a Word doc screen is pulled. Yeah, how the fuck did I live through that? The cat knows the look. He settles down to lick his ass across the room. The pilot, no, he never spoke to me again, because you gotta blame someone. The Cobra crew, MIA till some months ago. I heard one of their daughters on the radio today saying something about closure. Well, this is how it happens. Thank you.
Okay, after Renate is Spring.
So this, after all of these poems, is totally frivolous and almost ridiculous. I'm just emotionally grabbed by the preceding verses. This is about me. It's called Gardenista. Telephone rings, email pings, iPhone zings. Technology tries to invade my life with signals, distractions, and messages rife. I declare, beg your pardon, I am beckoned by my peaceful garden to the retreat, that electronics-free zone, to that sanctuary outside my home, where I am busy with friends of the botanical kind, willing to more subtly share their thoughtful mind. Rosemary tells me of winter's chill, whether or not survive she will. Black-eyed Susan, the bright star of my late summer garden, strong-stemmed, long-blooming, faithful and ardent. Rose, vulnerable to mildew, black spot and deer, in spite of which delicate buds appear. Violet, small, delicate, and close to the ground, careful, or under my footsteps she's found. Sweet pea, darling of the early summer beds for sure, it tests a good quality, fertilizing manure. Daphne, you know her scent is simply terrific, and all those blossoms so prolific. Marguerite, whether Shasta or Oxeye, leaves me in a daze. She's bright and uplifting in a nice table vase. Technology, in our lives it's an affliction, nigh onto an addiction. Clearly not for me. When to the garden I can flee, my soul says, that's where I must be. So the next one is entitled Fresh Snow, and it's written in a cabin in the woods. So, fresh snow is someone has called this poetic prose, so I don't know if that's what it is or isn't. But is it my less than perfect vision playing games with me as I emerge from afternoon slumber, dreamy? Is it fog, mist, or could it possibly be snow? I am toasty warm in my barn-red cottage in the woods, glowing from within. Outside, Tiny droplets of moisture are falling from the frigid gray sky, magically cloaking my surroundings, tiny frozen jewels, enchanting flakes. Offset against the deep green hemlocks and the stark gray of the granite ledges, a fragile coating of white has appeared everywhere. Stone walls, bare trees, leafless shrubs, the bones of the landscape are gradually being revised, softened, sculpted, and ultimately buried, to be admired later in their new attire. The snow falls and falls and falls, 20 inches of it, quietly and effortlessly into the night. Tomorrow, my deep plodding boots will mar and scar the miracle as I fulfill my need to revisit the land in its new cloak. Those of lighter tread than I, the ones to whom this terrain really belongs, will also make their marks, scurrying across its delicate surface. The rabbits, squirrel, fox, and the brilliant cardinal. So next is James Otter.
Spring is next, and then James is after.
Right.
Hold on. Yeah, I'll be up later.
Yeah, spring is next. And I'm really pleased to see some of the people who are here from the workshop, including Renate and Spring.
My first language, my mother tongue is Chinese, and English is my second language. And I have a son who just got bar mitzvah, but this was when he was younger. Another Thursday has come and gone by, as my 2-year-old waves goodbye to the water swirling down the bathtub drain. No matter how close I hold him, his growth quickens, bursting forth through my fingers. It seems just yesterday when I watched his unwitting smiles in his sleep. Today, I kissed him on his cheek. He smiled again in his sleep. From that, I read his growth. My heart flowered, pollinated by the difference, a difference I did not expect to so embrace.
Oh, wow.
The second one was actually from the workshop. Fallen leaves, dancing in the autumn sun, drenched in the first rain, blown to the ground, stuck by the gutter. No matter where, when, you remember. The rays' warmth, cleansing water, supporting earth, and trampled laughter.
Oh, wow.
This one was from the break at the workshop when I was running to say hi to a friend. A beautiful leaf caught my eyes. You lie there, so still, among the bustling leaves. Are you weighed down, or are you wondering? You say, I soak up the summer sun so I can weave the autumn rain to rainbow arch my wintry days. Thank you. James.
Yes.
And after James is Shaun, and our last will be Adrienne.
All right, you people. It's almost Halloween. And I figured, well, who cares? Maybe some of us used to be demons, pretending as hard as a diamond wrecking ball that we are mortal celebrities influencing people. Maybe we exist to keep people watching. Maybe we aren't demons, but we are reptiles pretending really hard to just be demons. Because long ago, the world was a dull, peaceful place where pathetic little communities of recently self-aware primates decided to start thinking and feeling, caring about each other. Sickening. It makes my scaly, fleshy underside freeze up. I can't compute these things. So us demons decide to come into being. We do it through order and law, but first savagery, core instinct, then later reason. We build this whole enlightenment thing up, make it seem unattainable. But there are all these ways to stay dumb. It started out as making basic organic behaviors alien, like say sex and nudity. Ugh, gross. It's how they all are, but then the human body turns into an object. How stupid they were. Still their livelihood. Our money. Hundreds of millions of dollars in universal trade. Our unholy dollars rule them. Even the bartering former money addicts still sink back into nasty habits. Go into the stores where mindless zombies don't care if they're robbed or fired. We demons only show ourselves to the most estranged and unhealthy people. The ones nobody will ever believe. It's our solemn duty to twist every little word into an attack. We put the bricks in the gloves, the burn in your coffee. We slow down your clocks, then speed them up when you want the time to be slow. It's fun to be evil. We get off on the job, brainwashing the world.
Yeah!
Happy Halloween. Come on up here, Shaun.
Hey, did I leave my glasses up there?
You certainly did, Fred.
Thank you.
Sounds so normal.
So yeah, my name's Shaun. I guess the only thing you should really know about me is that I'm afraid of the word love as most people are afraid of the word God.
So we can hear you.
Being too tall is never fun. You guys hear me all right now?
Yes.
All right. So, I have a couple pieces to read, short pieces. My mother was the product of an Indian whore and an Irish customer. Her words, not mine. Though not so much difference in the stream of time, I suppose. In Asia, they have a common saying, same, but different. Do you like nightmares? I like nightmares. I like them because I don't have them. Same, but different, I suppose. Because of the fear of nightmares, mothers, like good mothers, always keeping us from watching those scary movies. After all, the seepage effect of that translucent barrier of the waking world into the unconscious of a child is paper thin when we're so young. They try and keep us from all those scary stories, our mothers, as good mothers, I suppose. But the stories she could tell, by God, vivid like the day-glow faded twilight, and like most monsters in our stories, always existing there just beneath the surface. Underground, on the surface, above ground, beyond sight, oversight, insight, insanity, the past, the present, the future, same, but different. Like the things we love, mostly only while without us loving them, I mean. Like ice cream or a beer or a sweet glass of wine. When we have had them, where is that love? Oops. Nightmares, I don't have them, and so I love them. Perhaps this is overcompensating the obvious. I loved her who was more nightmare than person. Is it the metaphor or the narrative that makes more sense, do you think? The unconscious makes sense out of the muddy pools that day-glow renders in the mind of a child at dawn. Same, but different then, I suppose. It's the cold, it's confusion, it's getting on in years and the compound working into fears, all the times you never cried, never shone through, never shone out because of the ego in your pride that you call doubt. It's the way we catch wind and with breath behind the curtain share only what feels certain. It's the scars in the body, it's the profane and the sacred, it's always feeling wayward. It's every child who never learned to feel they had the right to exist. It's Advyanta as a cyst. It's non-duality to the blind, it's unity that resists. It's bottled up creativity, it's marketable purity. It's what happens when we fucking let them sell us insecurity. It's health insurance, life insurance, car coverage, and crack. It's Lowe's and home improvement, it's a shallow kind of crave. It's not the art of being fully human. What the fuck are we doing? It's walking self-hypnosis, it's consecrated madness, it's a fad, it's eagerly passing flatulence. It's you, it's me, it's the bum, it's questioning why the fuck we're out of rum. It's the light that you scrape from the barrel, it's the sterile, it's the bleak, it's every bit of love not pressed into the sheets. It's incomplete, it's second rate, it's looking out for number one, it's not the centering of self, it's the self-centered serving. It's every damn time we eat at fucking Burger King. It's a lack of sympathy, it's starving for intimacy, it's not synonymous with sex, it's not the master, it's getting lost to an experience, not being a slave to a euphoric delirium. Are you serious?
Yeah. Come on!
Hi, my name is Adrienne, and I feel very humble after that one. I actually just wrote this poem when I was upstairs and found out that there would be an opportunity to express poetry today. Published a poem when I was 9. Haven't done much with poetry since then. Here goes. The title of my poem is Justice. An elusive feeling, trapped inside the mind, begging for release. Hope is everywhere, yet there are no words. One by one they are expressed, falling short of understanding. The victim stoically endures the unimaginable pain, traveling alone on this journey, reaching blindly for the life she had. Taking on the burdens of everyone, she forgets to breathe. No longer aware, unable to see hope. The disconnection is unbearable. Walking among others inconsistent with her reality, she realizes her own humanity. Perfection is not an option. Tested to the limit, her tears flow with abandon. Determined to give, yet seemingly unable, her life is forfeit to the will of the victimizer, until she looks outside of the pain and with resilience returns to life.
Wow, awesome stuff. Thank you very much, everybody. Is there anybody who didn't read that maybe has a burning desire to read a poem? Going once? Going twice? Okay, I want to thank you all for coming. You've made this another very successful event this year, and it's been great. So we hope to see you all next year. Thanks again.